Have you ever worried about losing your strength, your energy, or your ability to do the things you love as you get older? Perhaps you've noticed that getting up from a chair feels a little harder, carrying groceries seems like a bigger chore, or maybe you've just seen loved ones struggle with what seems like an inevitable decline. What if I told you there's a quiet enemy secretly working against your independence, stealing your vitality, and robbing you of the strong, active life you deserve? This enemy has a complicated name, Sarcopenia, but its impact is alarmingly simple. It's the age-related loss of muscle mass and strength, and it's far more common than you might think, starting for some as early as their 40s. The good news? It's not a done deal. You have the power to fight back, and the answer might be much simpler and more surprising than you could ever imagine. Forget the trendy supplements and the overhyped miracle foods for a moment, because the secret weapon against sarcopenia is likely already in your kitchen, waiting to unlock a future of sustained strength and vibrant independence. You've probably heard a lot of talk about bone broth, hailed as a miraculous elixir for strength, joints, and recovery. But allow me to reveal a truth that might genuinely surprise you. While bone broth has its merits, it's not the ultimate champion for truly building and preserving muscle as you age. There's another incredibly accessible and potent food that goes beyond just supporting your muscles. It actively helps build them and stands as a formidable defense against sarcopenia, the muscle loss that can drastically impact your quality of life. Understanding what sarcopenia is and how this one simple food can shield you from its effects will completely transform how you approach your diet and your overall health. It's not just about looking good, it's about protecting your body's engine, your muscles. This essential tissue burns calories even at rest, shields your bones from fractures, stabilizes your joints, and keeps your metabolism robust. When muscle wanes, your energy, mobility, and even brain health can follow suit, linking sarcopenia not only to weakness and falls, but also to conditions like diabetes and dementia. This isn't just about longevity, it's about living your later years stronger, more vibrantly, and with unwavering independence. So, what is this extraordinary food that outperforms bone broth for muscle vitality? It's none other than the humble egg, nature's perfectly packaged powerhouse of muscle-building nutrients. You might initially raise an eyebrow, questioning how such an everyday item could hold such profound benefits. But delve into the science, and you'll find truly compelling evidence. While trendy bone broth primarily consists of collagen, a structural protein that certainly aids skin elasticity and joint support, it significantly lacks the complete spectrum of essential amino acids that your muscles crucially need for growth and repair. In stark contrast, eggs are celebrated as one of the planet's most complete and highest quality protein sources, brimming with all 9 essential amino acids in precisely the ratios your body requires to construct muscle tissue with maximum efficiency. What's more, the protein in eggs isn't just top tier. It boasts incredible bioavailability, meaning your body absorbs and utilizes it more effectively than almost any other protein. In fact, scientists often use eggs as the gold standard for evaluating protein quality in other foods, underscoring their unparalleled muscle-building potential in its most accessible form. If concerns about cholesterol have historically led you to avoid eggs, modern research offers a comforting reassurance. Consuming whole eggs generally does not elevate your risk of heart disease as once believed. Crucially, the yolk, often discarded, is a nutritional treasure trove packed with vital elements like vitamin D, choline, omega-3s, and powerful antioxidants such as lutein and zeaxanthin. These nutrients aren't just beneficial for muscle health, they profoundly contribute to cognitive function, sustain energy levels, and enhance overall vitality. One of the most significant reasons eggs are a game changer in combating sarcopenia lies in how they address an age-related challenge called anabolic resistance. As we mature, our muscles become less receptive to protein, meaning that the same amount of protein that fueled you in your younger years might not elicit the same muscle-building response later on. However, this resistance can be overcome with high-quality, leucine-rich protein, and eggs are abundantly supplied with leucine, the critical amino acid that essentially flips the switch for muscle growth. Incorporating just a couple of eggs into your breakfast can provide sufficient leucine to ignite muscle protein synthesis, especially when combined with beneficial resistance exercises. Imagine starting your day in your 40s, 50s, or 60s with a few boiled eggs, a vegetable-rich omelet, or scrambled eggs with avocado, directly signaling your muscles to grow stronger rather than allowing them to weaken. This deliberate choice keeps you in command of your strength and independence, setting a profound contrast to other less effective dietary choices. The benefits of eggs extend beyond their impressive protein profile. They are also among the richest natural sources of vitamin D, a nutrient absolutely vital for muscle strength and function. Low vitamin D levels are strongly associated with frailty, increased risk of falls, and indeed sarcopenia itself. Given how many people unknowingly grapple with vitamin D deficiency, imagine the profound difference they might experience by simply making eggs a regular part of their diet. You're not just nourishing your muscles, you're simultaneously supporting your bones, nerves, and brain. Beyond the physical, sarcopenia can subtly erode your confidence, leading people to shy away from beloved activities due to fear of falling or dwindling stamina, a downward spiral that further accelerates muscle loss. Eggs, with their dense and complete nutrient profile, provide the sustainable energy and motivation required to remain active. When coupled with consistent resistance training, whether lifting weights or engaging in simple bodyweight exercises, the impact is profoundly magnified, transforming mere slowing of sarcopenia into active reversal. Consider two individuals in their 60s. One meticulously follows passing health trends, avoids eggs due to outdated fears, and prioritizes only cardio. The other embraces eggs as a dietary cornerstone, focuses on resistance training, and enjoys protein-rich meals. Fast forward a decade and the contrast is stark. The first individual might contend with increasing weakness, fatigue, and reliance on aids, while the second remains robust, independently managing daily life, traveling, and actively engaging with family. Eggs don't offer a magic cure, but they supply the precise raw materials your body needs to sustain strength and maintain youthful vigor. For those wondering about ideal egg consumption, while individual needs vary based on diet and lifestyle, research largely suggests that 2 to 3 whole eggs daily are perfectly safe for most individuals and can deliver remarkable benefits. Athletes and older adults actively combating sarcopenia might even benefit from consuming more as long as it aligns with their broader protein intake objectives. And remember, the yolk is your ally, not your adversary. It's where much of the nutritional magic resides. Discarding egg whites means forfeiting half the nutritional punch. Embrace the whole egg, as nature ingeniously designed it as a complete, potent package. Practicality is another powerful advantage. Eggs are affordable, straightforward to cook, and remarkably versatile. Unlike bone broth, which demands hours of preparation or often comes at a premium in stores, eggs are universally accessible and quick to prepare, offering one of the easiest ways to ensure high-quality protein at every meal. The egg's profound story extends even further into muscle recovery and repair. Intense workouts inevitably create microscopic tears in muscle fibers, which then rebuild stronger when adequately nourished. Eggs provide not only essential protein, but also crucial micronutrients like zinc and selenium, both indispensable for effective recovery. This is why athletes have, for decades, championed eggs as a post-workout staple. If they can facilitate recovery from rigorous training, imagine their potential to help you preserve strength as you age. This vital connection ties back to your personal aspirations in later life. Perhaps travel, dancing at a grandchild's wedding, enjoying a round of golf, hiking trails, or simply living with unwavering independence. Each of these pursuits fundamentally relies on your muscle strength. The more muscle you cultivate now, the greater your reserve for the future. Eggs don't perform the work for you. You must still engage your body and challenge your muscles, but they are the indispensable fuel that makes your efforts count. Without them, you're potentially leaving significant gains on the table. With them, you're profoundly stacking the odds in your favor for a vibrant future. Let this crucial truth truly resonate. You are not destined to succumb to sarcopenia, nor must you passively witness your strength and independence diminish year after year. By making intentional, intelligent choices, such as prioritizing eggs over fleeting trends, You actively seize control of your health and empower yourself to rewrite the narrative of aging. Stronger muscles translate directly into more robust bones, enhanced balance, a more efficient metabolism, clearer cognitive function, and an overall superior quality of life. The next time you visit the grocery store, confidently bypass the overhyped items and head directly to the egg aisle. Select whole, high-quality eggs and consciously integrate them into your daily diet. Whether scrambled with spinach for breakfast, crafted into a vegetable-packed omelet for lunch, or simply enjoyed as a couple of boiled eggs for a nourishing snack, it's a straightforward, cost-effective, and deeply effective practice. This isn't a complex regimen or a passing fad. It's a time-tested, proven food that has fueled human strength and resilience for millennia. Aging doesn't have to signify decline. It can represent an era of growing wisdom, enhanced strength, and even superior health, provided you furnish your body with what it genuinely requires. Discard the fads and the hype, and internalize this fundamental truth. Muscle is life, and eggs remain one of the most accessible and potent tools you possess to safeguard it. Beyond specific foods, most people, when contemplating muscle growth or maintaining strength as they age, immediately focus on the prominent elements: protein shakes, structured workout routines, possibly supplements, or even hormonal interventions. While these factors undoubtedly hold importance, there exists another often overlooked yet critical piece of the puzzle, a foundational element that quietly dictates your progress. I'm referring to the profound significance of hydration and electrolyte balance. Before you dismiss this as yet another call to drink more water, understand that this concept extends far beyond merely sipping water throughout your day. Hydration isn't simply about warding off thirst. It's about fueling the intricate biochemical processes that enable your muscles to contract, recover, and grow. In the context of preventing sarcopenia, optimizing hydration and electrolyte balance may well be one of the most underrated yet profoundly effective strategies at your disposal. Let's simplify it. Your muscles are comprised of approximately 75% water. This means that with every movement, from lifting weights to climbing stairs or simply rising from a chair, the water within your muscle fibers actively powers that action. Water is not passive. It serves as the essential medium where all electrical signals, chemical reactions, and nutrient transfers occur. Even slight dehydration, a mere 1 to 2% decrease in your body's fluid levels, can lead to noticeable reductions in endurance, strength, and coordination. Now extrapolate that over months and years of chronic underhydration. Muscles consistently operate below their optimal capacity, recovery is impaired, and this steady decline directly contributes to sarcopenia. It's not solely an issue of age, it's intrinsically linked to your daily environment, habits, and whether you are adequately supplying your muscles with the water they need to thrive. However, water alone doesn't complete the picture. You could consume liters of plain water, but if your electrolytes are out of equilibrium, your muscles simply won't perform optimally. Electrolytes, critical minerals like sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, and chloride, carry electrical charges. Envision them as the essential sparks that ignite muscle contractions. Every flex of a bicep, every time you stand, every push during a workout is initiated by a neural signal sent to your muscle fibers, instructing them to contract. This intricate process relies on the precise movement of electrolytes across cell membranes. Sodium moving in, potassium moving out, calcium initiating contraction, and magnesium facilitating relaxation. Without the correct balance of these minerals, this entire system falters, explaining why dehydration often manifests as muscle cramps, weakness, or dizziness. Your electrolytes are compromised, and your muscles cannot fire effectively. Considering sarcopenia, we know that as individuals age, their muscles become less responsive to protein, recovery slows, and strength naturally diminishes without intervention. What's often overlooked is that older adults are particularly susceptible to both dehydration and electrolyte imbalances. The natural sense of thirst tends to wane with age, leading many older individuals to not feel thirsty even when their bodies are dehydrated. Furthermore, common medications for conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, or heart conditions can inadvertently deplete vital electrolytes such as potassium and magnesium. This confluence creates a perfect storm for accelerated muscle decline. If hydration and electrolyte balance are neglected, even the most meticulous diet and rigorous exercise regimen will fall short of their potential. Imagine two individuals in their 60s, both embarking on a resistance training program to combat muscle loss. One diligently drinks water but disregards electrolytes, potentially experiencing cramps, persistent fatigue, and sluggish recovery. The other conscientiously prioritizes hydration and actively ensures electrolyte intake through their diet, incorporating potassium-rich foods like bananas, avocados, and sweet potatoes, magnesium from leafy greens and nuts, calcium from dairy or fortified alternatives, and an appropriate amount of sodium. This second individual experiences smoother workouts, faster recovery, and over time, builds and preserves significantly more muscle. The difference may not be apparent in a week, but across months and years, it profoundly shapes muscle strength, balance, and lifelong independence. Hydration and electrolytes also directly influence muscle protein synthesis. When muscle cells are sufficiently hydrated, they create an optimal internal environment where protein-building enzymes function with heightened efficiency. Essentially, well-hydrated muscles are better primed to utilize ingested protein for genuine muscle building rather than merely burning it for energy. Conversely, dehydration signals cellular stress, which can paradoxically accelerate muscle protein breakdown, precisely what one seeks to avoid when combating sarcopenia. It's not solely about increasing protein intake, it's about establishing the physiological conditions that ensure that protein is effectively channeled towards growth, and proper hydration is a fundamental prerequisite. Furthermore, the often underrated aspect of blood flow is intrinsically linked to water and electrolyte balance. Dehydration thickens your blood, compelling your heart to work harder, and significantly impedes the efficient delivery of oxygen and vital nutrients to your muscles. This results in slower recovery, persistent soreness, and workouts feeling unduly difficult. Conversely, optimal hydration and balanced electrolytes ensure unimpeded blood flow, rapid nutrient delivery to muscles, and efficient clearance of waste products like lactic acid. This explains why athletes rigorously monitor hydration and electrolyte replenishment, especially post-sweat. Similarly, older adults, who might not sweat as profusely but still experience fluid loss, can feel unexplained fatigue or weakness that often traces back to an underlying hydration imbalance. Let's briefly highlight magnesium, a mineral frequently overlooked yet absolutely paramount for muscle health. Magnesium participates in over 300 biochemical reactions within the body, notably including muscle relaxation. Insufficient magnesium can lead to sustained muscle tension, delayed recovery, and prevalent cramping. Magnesium deficiencies are widespread, partly due to modern diets lacking in magnesium-rich foods. Crucially, when magnesium levels are low, the effectiveness of other vital electrolytes, such as calcium and potassium, is diminished, akin to a faulty spark plug impeding an entire engine. For those serious about muscle building and sarcopenia prevention, addressing magnesium intake, either through diet or appropriate supplementation, can yield significant improvements. Sodium also warrants careful consideration. For years, there has been a widespread directive to drastically reduce salt intake. While excessive sodium can certainly be detrimental, particularly for individuals with high blood pressure, sodium is fundamentally essential for effective muscle contraction and nerve signaling. Athletes instinctively recognize this, hence its inclusion in sports drinks to replace sweat losses. For older adults who might not sweat extensively, sodium nonetheless plays a vital role in maintaining fluid balance and preventing muscle weakness. The goal isn't absolute avoidance, but rather maintaining sodium in a healthy balance with other electrolytes. An imbalance, like too much sodium without sufficient potassium, can lead to fluid retention and elevated blood pressure. However, the correct balance directly supports muscle function and overall health. Finally, potassium, working synergistically with sodium, is crucial for regulating muscle contractions and is another commonly deficient mineral globally. Low potassium levels can manifest as muscle weakness, cramps, and even cardiac rhythm abnormalities. Despite its importance, most individuals don't consume nearly enough potassium-rich foods. While bananas are popular, spinach, beans, avocados, and salmon are significantly richer sources. Consistently incorporating these foods not only bolsters heart health but actively fuels the muscle contractions that sustain your strength and protect you from sarcopenia. To put this all into practice, intentionality is key. Don't simply drink water when thirst strikes. Integrate consistent hydration into your daily rhythm. Aim for steady fluid intake throughout the day rather than consuming large volumes at once, and observe your urine color, which ideally should be a pale yellow. Then, consciously prioritize whole foods that naturally supply electrolytes. Leafy greens, nuts, seeds, dairy, fruits, and vegetables are all excellent sources. If you engage in strenuous exercise, sweat profusely, or live in a warm climate, consider incorporating electrolyte drinks, opting for those that provide balanced amounts of sodium, potassium, and magnesium, avoiding excessive sugars. Remember, successfully battling sarcopenia is about strategically stacking the odds in your favor. While you already understand the importance of resistance training and protein, optimal hydration and electrolyte balance are the unsung heroes that dramatically amplify the effectiveness of those core strategies. Muscles cannot efficiently fire, grow, or repair without them. They may not be glamorous or trending, but their foundational role is absolute. The best part is that achieving this balance doesn't require exotic or expensive solutions. It simply calls for consistent hydration, a nutrient-dense diet, and a mindful awareness of your body's signals day by day. In the long game of healthy aging, every choice matters. The choice to move, the choice for high-quality protein, the choice for adequate sleep, and crucially, the choice to remain hydrated and maintain electrolyte equilibrium. It is the cumulative power of these informed choices that paves the way for stronger muscles, superior physical performance, and a future where sarcopenia does not dictate the terms of your life. Furthermore, when most people strategize about muscle growth or maintaining strength in later life, their focus naturally gravitates towards the prominent players: protein, dedicated workouts, various supplements, or even hormonal considerations. And while these elements are indeed fundamental, there exists another critical, often overlooked component that can profoundly either propel or impede your progress: inflammation. More precisely, it's how your dietary choices can either fuel chronic inflammation that subtly degrades muscle tissue, or, conversely, mitigate it to actively support muscle growth, efficient repair, and sustained long-term function. The inherent truth is that your muscles are dynamic, living tissues in a constant cycle of breakdown and rebuilding. Every workout, regardless of intensity, creates minute tears within your muscle fibers, triggering an inflammatory response from your body, a process that is, in fact, a natural part of healing. However, the critical distinction arises when inflammation becomes chronic, when it persists at low levels day after day. This prolonged systemic inflammation then interferes significantly with recovery, accelerates muscle breakdown, and directly lays the groundwork for sarcopenia, the age-related muscle loss that regrettably strips individuals of their independence as they age. Here is where the transformative power of diet emerges. Anti-inflammatory foods represent one of the most potent, yet underrated tools at your disposal to shield your muscles and ensure they consistently perform at their peak. Imagine attempting to construct a sturdy house while a persistent, low-level fire smolders continually in the background. The construction crew, instead of dedicating all their resources to building, is forced to expend precious energy repeatedly extinguishing flames. This metaphor perfectly illustrates the effect of chronic inflammation on your muscles. Instead of channeling their full resources towards efficient recovery and robust growth, your body's energy is diverted to perpetually combat inflammation. The inevitable result: weaker muscles, protracted recovery times, and stunted progress, regardless of the effort you pour into your physical activity. But if you introduce foods that effectively quell that internal fire, the construction crew, your muscle cells, can then fully dedicate themselves to laying down new muscle fibers, strengthening connections, and building you into a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. This fundamental difference delineates a body that is struggling under chronic inflammation versus one that is nourished, protected, and thriving. So, what are these powerful anti-inflammatory foods we're discussing? Let's begin with one of the most effective categories: fatty fish. Varieties such as salmon, mackerel, sardines, and trout are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, renowned for their natural inflammation-fighting properties. Omega-3s operate by reducing the body's production of inflammatory molecules and enhancing the fluidity of cell membranes. For your muscles, this translates to healthier, less inflamed cells that are more responsive to insulin, allowing nutrients like glucose and amino acids to enter more easily for energy and repair. Omega-3s also crucially enhance muscle protein synthesis, the very mechanism by which your body creates new muscle. Studies even indicate that older adults who consume adequate omega-3s exhibit a superior response to resistance training, a game-changing advantage in the fight against sarcopenia. So, while often associated with heart and brain health, omega-3s are directly bolstering muscle performance by keeping detrimental inflammation in check. Another significant contender in the anti-inflammatory arsenal is berries. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries. These diminutive fruits are densely packed with antioxidants, including anthocyanins and vitamin C, which are indispensable for neutralizing free radicals, unstable molecules that cause cellular damage and propagate inflammation. Following an intense workout, free radical levels spike, and if left unchecked, can prolong soreness and hinder recovery. Regular berry consumption provides your muscles with the necessary tools to rebound more swiftly. Research even suggests that individuals consuming blueberries experience reduced exercise-induced muscle damage and accelerate their recovery. Conveniently, berries are a delightful addition to smoothies, yogurt, or enjoyed fresh, establishing a simple habit that consistently yields stronger, less inflamed muscles over time. Now, let's turn our attention to the verdant powerhouses, leafy green vegetables like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard. These are veritable stores of magnesium, vitamin K, and a vast array of phytonutrients that actively combat inflammation at a cellular level. Magnesium in particular is a stellar performer for muscle function, orchestrating both muscle contraction and relaxation. Low magnesium levels are directly linked to heightened inflammation, increased muscle cramping, and diminished physical performance. Alarming statistics show that many people unknowingly suffer from magnesium deficiency. Incorporating greens into your daily meals not only fortifies your anti-inflammatory defenses, but also supplies your muscles with the essential minerals they require for seamless function. The vitamin K in greens also contributes to bone health, which in turn indirectly supports muscle function by providing a strong structural framework for muscle attachment. When you make daily greens a habit, you're not merely adding color to your plate, you're constructing a formidable anti-inflammatory shield that ensures your muscles work for you rather than against you. An often unsung hero in the battle against inflammation is turmeric, the golden spice. It contains curcumin, a compound extensively researched for its profound anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Curcumin operates by blocking inflammatory pathways, effectively muting the body's inflammatory response. For athletes or anyone striving to build muscle, this translates into less post-workout soreness and accelerated recovery. For older adults, it signifies the crucial protection of muscle tissue from the insidious, slow burn of chronic inflammation that directly contributes to sarcopenia. A key challenge with turmeric is curcumin's poor absorption when consumed alone. However, pairing it with black pepper dramatically enhances its bioavailability. This explains why traditional cuisines often combine the two, a natural synergy ensuring the medicinal compounds are effectively utilized. Integrating turmeric into soups, stews, or even teas can be a simple, effective way to harness this anti-inflammatory powerhouse daily. Next, nuts and seeds deserve special mention for their significant contributions. Almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds, and pumpkin seeds are concentrated sources of healthy fats, magnesium, zinc, and a wealth of antioxidants. Walnuts, notably, are rich in alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid, which adds another layer to their inflammation-fighting capabilities. Chia and flax seeds contribute fiber and lignans, compounds known to mitigate oxidative stress. For your muscles, this nutritional bounty translates into reduced breakdown and enhanced support for recovery and growth. Moreover, nuts and seeds are incredibly convenient, perfect for snacking or as a nutritious addition to salads and oatmeal, Consider them as compact packages of muscle protective nutrients seamlessly integrated into your daily life. No discussion of anti-inflammatory foods would be complete without highlighting olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil is abundant in monounsaturated fats and polyphenols that synergistically work to dampen inflammation throughout the body. Intriguingly, olive oil contains a compound called oleocanthal, which exhibits anti-inflammatory effects remarkably similar to ibuprofen, but without the adverse side effects associated with over-the-counter pain relievers. This is a primary reason why the Mediterranean diet, characterized by its liberal use of olive oil, is consistently linked to lower rates of chronic disease, greater muscle strength, and extended longevity. Drizzling olive oil over vegetables, utilizing it as a base for vibrant salad dressings or light cooking with it, are simple yet highly effective ways to infuse these profound anti-inflammatory benefits into your daily routine. Another potent group of anti-inflammatory foods includes legumes, beans, lentils, and chickpeas. These are rich in plant-based protein, dietary fiber, and polyphenols, compounds renowned for calming inflammation. The fiber found in legumes is also critical for nurturing gut health, a factor many people often overlook. A balanced and thriving gut microbiome plays a pivotal role in controlling systemic inflammation throughout the entire body. When your gut bacteria are harmonious, they produce beneficial short-chain fatty acids that not only reduce inflammation and support immunity, but also influence how efficiently your muscles utilize nutrients. By regularly incorporating legumes into your diet, you're not just fueling your muscles with essential protein, you're also cultivating an internal environment where inflammation is actively controlled and overall muscle function is profoundly supported. Let's also not overlook the vibrant array of colorful vegetables such as tomatoes, peppers, and carrots. These are teeming with carotenoids, including beta-carotene, lycopene, and lutein, all powerful antioxidants that shield against oxidative stress and inflammation. Tomatoes in particular are an exceptional source of lycopene, a compound consistently linked to reduced markers of inflammation in the body. Interestingly, cooking tomatoes actually enhances the bioavailability of lycopene, making tomato-based sauces and soups even more beneficial. Peppers, especially the vividly colored varieties, are rich in vitamin C, which not only fights inflammation, but also supports collagen production. While collagen isn't the primary driver of muscle growth, it's vital for maintaining strong tendons and ligaments, thereby enabling your muscles to perform effectively without risk of injury. Finally, let's consider green tea. This simple, elegant beverage is packed with catechins, notably EGCG, which possess robust anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Green tea actively helps to lower oxidative stress, aids in fat metabolism, and enhances recovery following exercise. It's no surprise that athletes globally incorporate green tea into their recovery protocols. For older adults, regular consumption of green tea can contribute to lowering the risk of chronic inflammation and preserving muscle function over the long term. Ultimately, all these insights converge on a critical principle. It's not about fixating on a single superfood, but rather about cultivating a holistic lifestyle where anti-inflammatory foods form the very bedrock of your diet. When you consistently integrate foods like fatty fish, a rainbow of berries, dark leafy greens, nutrient-dense nuts and seeds, pure olive oil, protein-rich legumes, vibrant, colorful vegetables, and even wholesome beverages like green tea, you are meticulously constructing an internal environment where your muscles can truly flourish. You are supplying your body with the precise tools it needs to repair itself efficiently, to staunch the damage caused by oxidative stress, and to prevent inflammation from becoming chronic and destructive across weeks, months, and years. The profound dividends of this approach translate directly into stronger muscles, enhanced mobility, and a substantially reduced risk of sarcopenia.